So let me get into arguably the best cover, one of the best covers of all time. Johnny Cash, Hurt.
I wanted to talk about this
Nine
one.
Inch Nails, the original artist.
It's fucking sick.
Yeah, so I took a couple notes on this one. So I had heard this before, like several years back. Someone had told me, they're like, "Oh, did you know that was a Nine Inch Nails song?" And I was like, "What?" Like, no, I didn't know that. So then I kind of looked into it a little bit, and Johnny Cash had a hell of a career. And at this point in his career, he had like kind of climbed the roller coaster, and he was like on the way down.
He was
like,
pretty old at this point too.
Yes, he's very like when this song came out in I think 2002, and he died a year later in 2003.
Yeah,
I might have the year wrong, but he died a year after this song came out.
Mm-hmm.
And Rick Rubin actually worked with him on some of his last projects, and this was one of those projects where Rick Rubin was like, gave him like the advice on like, oh, you should, try this out. So the original Hurt is more of like an industrial rock song. It's got, distorted guitars, synthesizers, drums.
Yeah.
This version of it is stripped down, acoustic, and then he actually plays a little bit of piano halfway through.
Yeah. One thing that I noticed is it feels a little bit more like full-bodied. Like people call Wines full-bodied. This feels full-bodied. Like it's fully strummed chords. It's Johnny he's not in the original version of Hurt. You kind of hear the band talking like this a little bit. Johnny just lets it out. Not too high, not too low. He's just singing like he would sing. It feels a little bit more whole, and I think that's part of the reason I like that better than the original.
Yeah, this is definitely better than the original. So Trent Reznor is the lead singer for Nine Inch Nails. He wrote this song about struggling with drugs and depression.
Yeah.
Cash, like we said, was at the end of his life, and this he was dealing with his own mortality, and you can hear it in the song. Like even when he opens with the first line, like sometimes when I hear it, it gives me chills.
Yeah, no doubt, man. He drips emotion on it.
His voice is raspy. It's fragile. It got so much emotion in it.
Right.
And he's like conveying like a sense of like pain and like regret throughout the whole song.
Yeah, knowing his end is coming, but still feeling the sadness of not having done more.
Yeah. So one other cool thing on this one is the original version ends with the line, "I will let you down," obviously implying failure. And the cover ends with the line, "I would find a way."
Yeah.
So still suggesting that, there's
he wishes he could do something better, yeah.
Right. Which is kind of cool.
Yeah, man. It's a classic cover. Right? If you just looked up like BuzzFeed lists, this would absolutely be in like top 5 of all the BuzzFeed lists.
It should be.
Yeah. Let's find a BuzzFeed list for Joey to fuck up.
One more note on this one. So the music video for this song, which actually won a Grammy.
I've heard this. Yeah.
Yeah, it's very, I don't know, famous. Whatever you want to call it. It's just got a lot of
notoriety, maybe.
Yeah. It's Johnny Cash, and he's old. He's playing the guitar. He's playing the piano, and then it's cutaways of like him as younger and him at home with his wife, and like the Johnny Cash Museum, which was actually like in a state of decay at the time.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of reflecting on like the fall of his his peak.
Yeah.
And it's a really cool music video. It like touches on like it's just like a portrait of his life.
That's really interesting. I'll have to check that out when I get home later.
Yeah.
I knew there was a music video. I had heard like people talk about it, but never really checked it out. That's kind of fucking sick. I'll look into that.
For sure. Also, before we get into the next one more thing. When Reznor from Nine Inch Nails heard or saw the music video, he literally said in a quote, he's like, "This song is not mine anymore," which is pretty cool.
Yeah, when you get covered by a legend like that, man, and he does such a kick-ass job on it. You pay a little deference. Like
For sure.
You feel honored to play your own song after that.
Yeah.